Hello, welcome to the daily political astrology and tarot here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here every single day, every weekday, weekend, holiday, your birthday, my birthday. I am here to take your political questions. Just put your questions in your political questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers. You have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we have got a fantastic community because you have been so kind. Thank you. And thank you. And if you are watching on replay, hello. All the questions will be in the description box. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works for you. As for today, I'm mad. Oh man. Oh, I am unhappy. Flames coming out of the side of my head. Yellow squeebles. Mercury has gone direct, and hasn't it just? And if longtime viewers will know that if there is anything related to Bill Barr coming up, that I am not going to be happy, because this rancid potato, this rotten potato, and his stench is one of my least favorite people in politics. Anyway, Squeeble says, you can tell she's mad. No kitty backgrounds. I know, right? Normally I've got my artistic familiars here to help buffer me against doing this every single day, but shall we jump in? I ran out of time. There's so much more I want to look up and the astrology and get this jerks. I have this jerks. Oh, Kristen, I saw that. Bless. Robert Mueller has passed. Bless him. I have this jerk's astrology chart. I didn't have time to pull it up and do the transits and progressions and solar arcs and all that kind of stuff. So, Squeebles, I'm fine. I'm going to get through this. We're going to get through this. But I'm just mad. That's just how it is. So, at 2 minutes 50 seconds in, yeah, and we have the Pulp Tarot deck. TC says yes, it's right here. This is the one I use the most for criminals. Okay, so cast your mind back to 2019, when a certain scumbag of scumbags, Jeffrey Epstein, lost his life in a prison. Funnily enough, the day before he lost his life, this jerk, specifically the previous one of the previous AGs of these United States of America, went to visit him. And the next day, gone. Epstein was unalived. Okay, so something to know about this jerk. When Epstein was just out of the blue given a job as a teacher in an elite girls' school, remember that one? It was his father who gave Epstein that job. And then, speaking of Mueller, bless his soul, it's this jerk who did everything he could to redact and hide the Mueller report. This man has not only blood on his hands, he has some of the worst filth possible in all of mankind on his hands. and I despise him. Okay. So, casting your mind back to when Epstein was in prison, as he should have been forever, it has come out 6 days. 6 days after Epstein's 2019 death, a Bureau of Prisons after actions team swept the Metropolitan Correctional Center and shredded huge amounts of paperwork. Just, recruiting inmates to haul bags of shredded documents to a dumpster. According to a newly unearthed FBI report flagged by Epstein reporter Julie K. Brown. Julie K. Brown, bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Julie K. Brown. Send that woman some good energy and some love. A federal corrections officer contacted the FBI by phone to report the misconduct. So no, this was not normal. This was not how things were supposed to be done. And this is while Trump was president. Never forget that. August 2019, Donald Jeffrey Trump was president. A federal corrections officer contacted the FBI by phone to report the misconduct. The report, dated August 16th, 2019, records that the officer, quote, has never seen this amount of bags of shredded documents coming out, unquote. The officer found it suspicious that the team charged with investigating was shredding huge amounts. The team charged with investigating was shredding huge amounts of paperwork in the middle of an active investigation, while FBI Assistant Inspector General and Bureau of Prisons officials were all in the building. The Bureau of Prisons is a subdivision of the Justice Department, by the way. Crucially, the Bureau of Prisons, is a subdivision of the Justice Department, which at the time was part of the first Trump administration. The Trump DOJ was separately reported to have directed NYPD investigators to stand down in their criminal probe 5 days after Epstein's death, and also asked New Mexico's DOJ to halt its investigation into Epstein's Zorro ranch, alleged by an FBI tip to the burial site of two foreign girls. There is a place in hell. I'm sorry. I know I do everything I can to keep you calm, but I'm not calm today. I am so mad. There is a place in hell. Okay. Let's just see what the cards have to say. I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to show you the astrology, because like I said, card fell out. Hold on, please. Oh, yeah. A disappointment. Just, you think? Pam says autumn. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm still mad. I am. I'm still mad. Where's Blue says it's okay. So are we. Thank you. Lewis says, and to think we didn't know that any of this was going on. Oh, of course not. And I agree, Fawn. Grr. Yeah. Please contact your representatives. I don't care if they're red. I don't care if they're blue. I don't care if they're purple. I don't care if they've got big pink polka dots. Please contact your representative. Please. A cat mom says, hey, you just got here. Have we gotten to the place where we remember that Bill Barr's dad hired a totally unqualified Epstein to work at the elite Dalton school? The girls' school? Yes, I mentioned it first thing. Oh, the institutions. Yes, indeed. There was evidence. The institution has evidence. Oh, only evidence that's going to help those in power, who have power and influence, continue a lovely life, and to heck with the kids. Heck with the young people. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, this jerk can go off all he wants to on Russia hoax or whatever, but we're talking about kids. There's nothing lower. Seriously, there's nothing lower. I would argue that there is nothing worse on this earth you can do than hurt children. Nothing. Not a thing. That's it. You have hit the bottom. And this jerk, the heck with the kids. Secrets. But Star, there is hope. We're not putting up with this. We're not. We are not. I know. Thank you, Amy. I know. Sean, thumbs up, yes. I know the astrology over the next couple of years can get a little harrowing, and we're coming up on our Uranus return. And when we've had our Uranus returns in the past, because it happens every 84 years, things have gotten a little harrowing. But for a while now, I've said, look, we've put up with MAGA. We've put up with President Dumpster Fire. We have, we've done a lot. We've been through a lot. We've dealt with a lot. We've watched our own families ripped apart. We have watched other families literally ripped apart. If there's a scraping at the bottom of the barrel, we've been through it. So I honestly, in my naive way, I honestly thought I could not figure out what would actually cause as much strife as what is coming up in the astrology. I was like, no, we already know. This. Crisco says, yeah, about 84 years ago, Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Go back 84 years from that. See what year you end up in. And then, of course, 84 years before that. So, and Kelby says, we had such high hopes for Garland. I know, right? But I don't know. I'm not even thinking about Garland right now. I don't. Yeah. Raymond says, enough is enough. Exactly. Cindy says the sun is in a highly active state right now. Well, also, I was showing you yesterday that how much Aries. We're in Aries season now. And so the sun here, the wartime king, moved into Aries. And the moon, I think, has moved on, but Venus is still there, Saturn is still there, Neptune is still there, Chiron is still there, the wound that will not heal. American Revolution, Civil War, American Revolution, Civil War, World War II, and here we are. We're going to get through this because, darn it, you're coming with me. We're going through this together. You're coming with me. I'm taking you. We're both going. We're going to make it through this. That's how it's going to be. So there. Yeah. Mars is not. Mars is here. Hey, Mars. Mars isn't yet in Aries, but he's on the way. He's still in Pisces. Yeah, he's on the way. But yeah, Saturn, Neptune already there. Anywho. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take anything positive at this point. These jerks, all of them, they've been protecting each other, and yeah, there's a place. Yeah. But this is coming to light, and we're going to get to the next story, which is potentially pretty big, and it is certainly unexpected. There's justice here. There is strength here. And that's not strength. This strength is usually, not always, but it's usually a healthy card. Hanged Man. And then this is MAGA being really mad. Really mad. You're already getting a lot of the talking heads on the far right speaking out. But, Squeeble says, I want to blow up poster of that justice card. I know, right? If the link isn't in the description, it will be later. This is the Pulp Tarot. And yeah, there's a gentleman made this deck, obviously. But yeah, it's really good. Sean says, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Correct. Yeah, and it says on the back, it's hard to see, but it actually says the Pulp Tarot. But I've also used this so much that the coloring is coming off the edges. But Chat Wadsworth says, please repeat where the info came from. Oh, for the, yeah, I specifically, it isn't there at the moment just because there was too much to fit in the description box. This is the raw story. I've put the link in the chat. Yeah. But, okay. Okay, so this isn't going away. It really isn't. Karen says, remember when the card readers, psychics, mediums, astrologers saw this coming? Yep, here it is. Yeah. I want to have a quick look at 1830 at this jerk. Oh, thank you, chat. It's like I said, please, seriously, on Thursdays, Kirsten, Langston, and I, we've been showing you how easy it is to contact your representatives. We've been giving you scripts. It is really easy. You can literally put a free text to resist, which is 5. Okay, if you just send a text, send a text to 50409. 50409. All right. If you do that, you will get a response from Resist. They can help you contact your representatives. All you have to do, okay, the first thing they'll hi, I'm ResistBot. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Reply help for help or stop to stop receiving messages. Okay, so I'm ResistBot. Let's get started. Now it's going to suggest something you can do something you could potentially sign your name to, a petition, that kind of thing. But all you have to say is like menu. And then I'll say, what would you like to do? Reply, trending to see top campaigns, write to send your own letter, call to dial your officials, coins to learn about rewards, visit your officials' offices, protest for nearby protests. There's a guide and a link. I said, right. And it was, all right, please reply with one target for your letter. Popular ones include Congress, House and Senate, state, governor and legislature, just the Senate, just the House, or just the governor. I said, Congress. Send as many texts as you need, limit to 1 to 2 sentences each to compose your letter to your member of Congress. Stick to one issue per letter, no more than 350 words. Reply with the letter body only, leave out your name and officials' names. I've got it. Reply, done when finished. Now, I did put my own name. Hi, my name is, I put my name. I'm a constituent from the town I live in, state, zip code. Now this, last week, I'm contacting you about the SAVE Act. Please vote against this act, which creates a de facto poll tax, which is illegal. It aims to solve a non-existent problem and will result in nationwide voter suppression and create another barrier to voting. And I hit done. And it was like, okay, here's your preview. If it looks good, reply, send. So there, and it doesn't cost you a dime, but it will help you. It will actively help you. So, and I'm sure there's an online version too. Youth Power says, I use Resist to sign petitions and send letters. Great resource. Yes. Yes. And yes, we've been going over the different companies that support democracy and those who are supporting this. So, yeah. Nice. All right. This jerk. How to contact representatives. Oh, Cha-Cha Brown, thank you so much. Doing a great job. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Makes a huge difference. All right, so Bill Barr has raised his rancid potato head again in the news. It doesn't matter. Seriously, even if your representatives are as red can be, they still make tallies on what their representatives are for or against. No matter, and every one of those tallies adds up. We just have to organize and just keep trying, even if it seems futile. If we get enough people calling in with tallies, you're writing in so that it's vote against this, vote for that. If there are enough of them, these people want to stay in power. So, and plus you'll just feel better. And you're setting a good example for others. You can help others. It really is worth doing, or I wouldn't. It's actually messing up my algorithm in YouTube a bit. And my channel is already suffering because doing that half-hour thing on Thursdays, apparently YouTube thinks it's out of the blue, or it doesn't somehow, it's not like what I normally do, and it's not happy. It's not happy with me, but I'm not stopping, and I'm not being quiet. I'll do what it takes. This is not, no, just no. Okay. Chili says, if MTG can change, anyone can. True. Yes, yes. Sharon said, unlike the Borg, resistance is not futile, even if it feels like it. Yes, exactly. Okay. This jerk, King of Pentacles, right in the middle. And the light is shining on you, scumbag. That's my opinion. This man is a scumbag. So is she. That's my opinion. Chariot, 5 of Pentacles. Yes, actions taken. Shredding. Pam says, Autumn, everyone's having the same problem, even curators who do cooking and recipes. There we go. On Thursdays at 5:30 Central, I've been coming on live both here and on Third Eye Champagne with Kirsten Langston. We've been live streaming to both channels at the same time to contact our representatives. She calls it Cocktail Congress. And so, because it's so easy to do, you could stand there with a cocktail in your hand. I mean, I don't drink, but, with coffee in your hand or a cup of tea. And this is what we do. And we go over companies to support and companies to avoid. So that's every Thursday, 5:30 Central. Anyway, it's only, less than half an hour? So, yeah, this is a bunch of action. This is big. And this is to heck with them out in the cold, destitute, demoralized, suffering. He doesn't care. This man believes in the unitary executive theory, which is the president is king, basically. He can do no wrong. He can do whatever he wants. That's what got the job. And don't forget, his father hired Jeffrey Epstein unqualified Jeffrey Epstein to teach at an elite girls' school. There he is. Big old judgment, and judgment upon all of them. A pox upon both of your houses. And I don't mean a pox like something unusual. I mean your karma. I just want your karma to come back to you. I don't think that's a lot to ask. In a sense, maybe everybody's karma should come back to them more quickly. If you've done good, you should get something good from that. If you have okay. Anyway. Cat Mom says, has Barr ever read the Constitution? I know I'm making light of it by calling him he's a rancid potato, but there is nothing worse that human beings can do than what these two have gone out of their way and made huge efforts to make sure it can keep happening. And the people who did it are never held accountable. As far as I'm concerned, they may well have done it themselves, because just cover it all up. Let it keep happening. Anyway, I understand people are, Carol says, I've called my congressional members. Thank you. Unfortunately, they're all MAGA. Polling good for Sherrod Brown, running against, is it Husted, who's another con man. Dr. Amy Acton for governor. Yay. Yes. Chad is asking, was Barr in the e-files? I do not know. Oh, Susan, I'm so not surprised. Susan says Robert Mueller died and President Dumpster Fire's response was, now he can't hurt anyone. Anyway, so now we've covered all that. It's infuriating. I will do a deep dive onto the astrology, especially and I will report back tomorrow. I will report back. Meanwhile, there's an interesting little wrinkle that has popped up. And actually, I'm going to, yeah, that's not all there. So I'm going to scroll down because I have, here we go. I'm going to bore you to tears because I've got a whole bunch to tell you. So at 30 minutes, 20 seconds in. All right, you ready? Get some tea, get a beverage, take a load off, step away from what you've been doing for just a second, just settle in, okay? No reading? I'm afraid I don't understand. Okay, just settle in. Okay. 5. This week, in the UK, Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley, confirmed this week that his office is in active communication with the U.S. Department of Justice. Requesting the original unredacted Epstein documents. He needs them to potentially prosecute both Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and former British Ambassador Peter Mandelson. Yes, we're listening. Rowley said publicly that the publicly released redacted version of the files is not enough to mount a prosecution, and the originals will be necessary if these cases reach court. It's happening 1 month after Andrew Scumbag was arrested on his 66th birthday. I think he's missing a 6. On suspicion of misconduct in public office. And King Charles stated, quote, "The law must take its course," unquote, and offered his full support to investigators. Mandelson was arrested on February 23rd on similar charges, also released on bail. Back in Washington, the House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Bondi this week and ordered her to testify under oath on April 14th. Meanwhile, Democrats walked out of a closed-door briefing with her Wednesday night, calling it a fake hearing after she repeatedly refused to commit to complying with the subpoena. Her response to every question about compliance was, "I will follow the law. I will follow the law." And the stock market is at $50,000. Wow, you can buy the stock market for $50,000? That's amazing. Okay, now here's the thing. The DOJ has already declared the review's over. There are no additional prosecutions coming. There's nothing else to release. We know from the files there are still vast amounts of information. In what they released, there are agents talking to each other saying there are vast amounts of information. Anyway, non-answer. Okay, the Republican committee chairman himself said he doesn't personally think Bondi should have to testify, even though his own committee just subpoenaed her. Profiles and courage. And the DOJ would have to prosecute its own attorney general for contempt, which is not going to happen in this administration. So domestically, she can run out the clock. The international picture is where it might get complicated. At least 9 investigations in 8 countries have opened up within the EU's anti-fraud office since the files were released. Shall we go through the different countries and what's happening? United Kingdom. This is the most serious one. This is the only country where actual criminal prosecutions are already underway against named individuals. The UK has a fully independent Crown Prosecution Service, a politically active police commissioner who is going on the record with American media to pressure the DOJ, and a government that has already paid serious political costs. Mandelson was fired as ambassador. The Prime Minister's chief of staff resigned for recommending him. The political will is not performative. It has already taken down or started to take down powerful people. Huzzah! Thank you, UK. All right. Norway. Arguably the most aggressive actor after the UK. Norway's Economic Crimes Unit, I cannot pronounce that, I am very sorry, charged their former prime minister with gross corruption this month, actual criminal charges against a former head of government. Norway's ambassador to Jordan also resigned after it was revealed Epstein left $10 million to her children. It's not even blood money, it's gross. It's more gross than that. And a separate criminal investigation into her and her husband is open. The Norway's Economic Crimes Unit is independent and not politically timid. They charged a former prime minister. That's not theater. France. France. French financial crimes prosecutors opened an investigation into former culture minister Jacques Lang and his daughter over suspected money laundering tied to Epstein. Paris prosecutors also separately opened 2 new lines of inquiry, one into human trafficking, one into financial crimes. France has independent prosecutors with a history of pursuing powerful figures regardless of U.S. preferences. Huzzah! Vive la France! Lithuania and Latvia. Lithuania and Latvia are doing more than we are. Both countries opened formal investigations after reports that their nationals, models, and other women appear in the files, with passport data and travel records suggesting they were recruited for exploitation. These are victim-centered investigations with genuine domestic political pressure behind them. Huzzah, bless you for protecting your children. And you can argue with me all day. Ooh, teenagers aren't children. They're underage. They can't drink. They can't be sent to war. They're children. Anyway, 2 more. Turkey. Turkish prosecutors opened an inquiry in December after an opposition lawmaker highlighted references in the files alleging Epstein transported minor girls from Turkey, the Czech Republic, and Asia. And European Union, thank you, Turkey. European Union, the EU's own anti-fraud office, OLAF, O-L-A-F, has opened an investigation specifically into Mandelson over his role as a former EU figure. Olaf reports to the European Parliament and has investigative independence. Now, back to the UK. Oh, yeah. Old Silver, the Crown Prince of Norway, is compromised by his wife. Her son is a mess. Oh, yeah. I've been watching. There's a social media account where he he loves mess. He loves to spill tea, and he's I guess been all around the world because he's got a lot of. He's been talking a lot about what's been going on there with all of them. Okay, so now here, going back to the UK. And I'm sorry this isn't readings. I want you to have as much good information as you can. I figured that is my number one job, is you will always get legitimate news here from legitimate news sources. Okay. Okay, so back to the UK and the prosecutors there trying to get the unredacted, this mess. Excuse me. The mechanism that allows one country to request evidence from another is called a mutual legal assistance agreement. The US has these agreements with UK, Norway, France, and many other countries. But these are requests, not court orders. The US, now we're not done yet. This is not the end of it. Now, the US is under no legal obligation to comply. Bondi can simply not respond, and there's no international court that can force her hand. Okay, hang on, before you despair. What changes the calculation is the UK specifically. If the Crown Prosecution Service decides to formally charge Prince Andrew or Mandelson, I thought they already were, which is why they were arrested, but okay, all right. A judge in that proceeding can issue a formal production order for evidence, and the U.S. refusal becomes an official documented public record of obstruction in the context of an active prosecution of a former member of the British royal family. That is not a political spat. It is the United States government formally obstructing a close ally's criminal justice system. While the sitting president's name appears in those same files more than 3,000 times, and that's only in the files that have been released. This does not give the UK legal power to force compliance. What it does create is a permanent, unspinnable public record in a jurisdiction Bondi can't control, cannot redact, and cannot spin. Norway, France, and others create the same problem on a smaller scale. Okay, so here's the thing. So who cares? Trump would just do whatever he wants, right? Apparently, thank you. Apparently, they this could cause some problems. Because in the same way that our president dumpster fire had decided he was just going to, let's go bomb Iran. And that's blown up in his face, metaphorically and politically. If Bondi and Patel, who, by the way, never unredacted the stuff that was supposed to be sent to the DOJ, so Patel is up to his eyeballs in this too. If they keep saying, no, we're not doing this, no, we're not doing this, what the UK can do is, and because the king has come out and said, oh no, we're supporting this investigation fully, is the UK can say, you know what, then we can't trust you. Therefore, we're not going to give you intelligence information anymore. You know what? We're not doing this. This is important. So we're not going to ally with you on various things. We can just stop giving you intelligence. Yeah, good luck. And you know that dumpster fire will be like, well, who cares? Well, of course he will. Until he realizes just how bad that is. So, Yvette says Andy was catch and release. Oof. So, Fawn is asking about Interpol. I do not know about Interpol, to be honest. Nothing about them came up in my research, but let me see. All right, UK. Rural Britannia. Yeah, I've talked about this before as I'm shuffling because I need to at least put one foot outside of this energy for a minute. I've already talked about the UK's national anthem is horrifying to me. Make her, I'm still doing the Queen version, the Queen's version. Make her victorious. What is it? Something inglorious. Long to reign over us, God save the Queen. Long to reign over us? Ew, that's just awful. No. But the Rule Britannia, I mean, this one, you could agree with. It's just a little. It's Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, ever, ever shall be slaves. You were colonizers. You colonized them. Okay. But yes, I agree. You should never be slaves. All right, UK. Please tell me. You are going to stand up. Please tell me you're going to stand up against this. Oh, please, oh, please. Yes, Chris Gould, International Police. Cat Mom says when I was a kid, we sang "God Save the Queen." I did have one of my bosses. For those of you in the U.S. who've ever been to a Menards, which is like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It's more regional, but it's like that. And they have this jingle that they'll even play inside the store. So it's not just on their advertising, it's in the store. Save big money is the thing. Yeah. And one of my bosses used to walk through the store going, "Shave big monkeys. You shave big monkeys when you shop Menards." See? All right, what's the death card? Because, yeah, heinousness, dumpster fire and his administration, they are. I mean, with everything going on in the world right now, and oh heck, we're still talking about this. That's Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's change. That's change. Big change. Institutions. We've got a prosecutor. What is this? What is this card? Oh, yes, Tammy. Poor Mueller. Bless him. Bless his family. Yep. Anyway. Raymond has monkey emojis. All right, UK. What have I got? Why have I got a prosecutor or a judge and a death card? What's the death card? Because if the unredacted files end up in a court in the UK, that means other victims can get hold of that information. That means that they have different rules about international human rights organizations being able to bring suit and get discovery. All right, what I'm getting is back and forth, back and forth. Oh, the UK is definitely not going to let this go. You have the victims in the middle, and then you have dumpster fire trying to, but normally this is his bludgeon, but it feels more like a toothpick, like a big toothpick. I don't know that he's going to think he can just do everything normally, but I don't think the UK's playing. I would be very, very happy if this moves forward. And not that they'd care, but my opinion of the UK would go up dramatically. And I say that as someone who went to a British school and who was married to an Englishman for 20 years. It isn't that I despise the UK. It's that I'm not big on kings. Really not. You do you, but really not big on it. But if you can actually hold people accountable who are the worst scum on the face of the earth. Amy says, if only the USA had listened to Mueller and Jack Smith. Yes. Amy says, I miss Menards. You miss shaving big monkeys? No, we're not. Sorry, that was just a joke. No, save big money when you shop Menards. And they got my money over the years. They did. All right. I'm getting a whole lot of pushback. I'm getting a refusal of this ilk, but then there are other things the U.S. I am getting the other things the U.S. try to do that you can't do as well. Can't do it all or can't do as well. Oh, where was it? Where did I see it? There was someone in the EU. I'm sure someone here saw it. There was somebody in the EU who, somebody high up, and a journalist said, why don't you link demands for what Trump wants with Iran and fighting Iran? Why don't you link that to huge benefits for Ukraine? And the government, whoever this guy was, he just said, that's a good idea. I'm going to talk to my team after this. Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah, we should do that. And he seemed very sincere. Yeah. Chris Cole says NATO should say they'll help him end his stupid war after he releases the Epstein files. Yeah. Release the Epstein files and help Ukraine seriously. And sure, we'll help you. But you have to do those things first. That's what they should do. I wish I knew where I had seen that. That's what happens when you're just steeped in news. It could have been Chris Cool. I'm not sure. Yeah, also for putting back the sanctions on Russia. Yeah. Trump has lifted the sanctions on Iranian oil being sold. So they can get more money to attack our people? Because he's afraid that the price of oil is going to go too high. Oh, diddums. Oh, these people. Yes, exactly, Amy. He lifted them on Iran. Yeah. So they can make money to fight the U.S. Yes. And potentially unalive more of our people. For wagon tails, or say the UK will send minesweepers to the Strait of Hormuz if Dumpy releases the Epstein files. There we go. Yep, Julie, and Russia too. Yep. There are this feels like the different countries actually talking to each other. Prosecutors from around the EU talking to each other and talking to the UK. sharing information, resources. Yeah. Two of Wands, Nine of Wands, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Dumpy, he went out there into the world, and it's not going so well. And now they want 200. Now, Pretty Pete Kegsbreath wants $200 billion more. So, anyway, we are going to get through this. I know we're going to get through this, but I wouldn't, if I was completely capable of just, just keep it all hemmed in, quiet, and pulled in. If I could do that all entirely, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing this every day. So let's have a quick look at 56 minutes. Let's have a look at future of the Epstein files. If you were going to create an astrology chart about the Epstein files, when would you set that? Oh, Four Wagon Tails, thank you for being here. Thank you. Future of this mess. By the way, is this clear that she's like, oh, okay, you can have this much? Is this clear? And then he 6 days after, they shredded a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, well, there was an active investigation going on. Okay. Oh, bless Amy. Bless. Future of this mess. Redaction, unredaction. Julie says, oh, good one. I hadn't noticed. Oh, okay. Michelle says start date would be the unaliving of J.E. That's a good option. Okay. Winged Victor says set in Florida because that's where the files started. Oh, that's a point. The original, when he got the easiest prison sentence ever. That's a good point. That is where the files started. Huh. Okay. The files. Oh, look who's here right at the beginning. It's President Dumpster Fire himself. Shaky ground, mentally, spiritually, politically. I wouldn't say morally because he's gone off a cliff morally. Did that a long time ago. Shaky ground politically. People are hurting. The victims, the rest of us watching this, and then there's all the other stuff that's going on with the war, with the economy, with you name it. Voters. There's going to come a point, Republicans, hey, hi, I know you don't listen to me, but I'm just going to throw this out there because, we told you what would happen. We told you. We told you. There's going to come a point here where you're going to go down with the albatross of all the Epstein stuff around your neck, too. Is that what you want? Is having power really worth it? This is going to be your footnote in history. This is it. You protected this and this and this. And voters, Yeah, we vote. We vote. I almost wore my Harris Waltz gray sweatshirt today. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, it's up to you, Republicans. Right there. Let me see if I can get any more information on that one. Oh, thank you. Raymond says hit the like button. Thank you. Cat Mom says Palm Beach County had a case against him that would have put him away for multiple lifetimes. Yep. And guess who was the lead prosecutor right after the jerk who gave Epstein that sweetheart deal and the non-prosecution agreement for everyone else related to the Epstein case? And the Attorney General after that, who also could have ripped up that non-prosecution agreement. Ding! In case you didn't know that, yeah, she's not the one that gave Epstein the sweetheart deal, but she came right after, and she could have ripped up the non-prosecution agreement to go after the scumbags around Epstein, and she didn't. Do you remember when Trump gave her $25,000, a donation for $25,000 while she was in that job? Yep, Raymond, exactly. Whew. Oh. Trump has his regular mode of doing anything for a long time is just wait out the clock. Just stand there and look like you're fine and rich, even if you're not, even if you've never said anything true in your whole life. Yeah. So, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles. She might try to, she's going to try to, right now she's saying there's nothing else to release. She will, I no doubt that she is going to say, oh, okay, there was this little, like, you got this much. Okay, we'll give you this extra paper right there to try to ward off all of this and then just be belligerent. But I've got a Chariot card here, and that's big. That's a big showy thing. So right now, like I said, we are in a time period here where the astrology is not the logistics. The astrology is not helping us bring these people to justice at the moment. But if we work together, we absolutely will be able to. So hang in there. All right. Whew. All right. So anyway, I stayed over a little extra, but thank you for putting up with my anger today. And it's very upsetting, but I'm glad it's Sarah's day off. She doesn't need all this. She has to dig through some nasty. She not all the time, but she will sometimes help me set up for the day. So she's gotten some nasty details of these kinds of all these stories in her head, and I feel bad for that. She's like, it's fine, but I don't want that for her. But so I'm glad there were no details for her to get in her head today. Anyway, yeah, there are things I know too that I haven't told you, and that's good. That's how it should be. Yeah, I don't trigger. Anyway, all right. So Sarah seems to be feeling better. She's just really tired. So anyway, at 3 o'clock, I'll be over Central Time. I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. And I'll do all the astrology I can to see if we can get an idea of when there can be some movement, maybe something. And we're going to make it through this. You're not alone. We are in this together. There is a community here for you every single day, every day. No weekends, no vacations, no, Sundays off. No, every day. You have this community here. All right. So you are never alone. And there are good days ahead. All right. So hang in there, and I'll see you later, as always. Okay. All right. Bye.